Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight in our news. Shocking unemployment numbers coming out of Grand Bahama. The Deputy Prime Minister is responding. Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Jared Higgs. Topping news tonight. Nearly 50% of people on Grand Bahama are unemployed after Hurricane Dorian, according to a Department of Social Services assessment on that island. In May, the island's unemployment rate was 10.9%. However, the report, which detailed the situation on the island as of November 5th, found that in Freeport, 48% of people were unemployed. Kyle Joaquin is in Grand Bahama and filed this report.
It's been 3 months since Hurricane Dorian slammed into Grand Bahama, and after that social services report, which showed that unemployment on the island stands at 50%, we took to the streets to find out exactly how things have been.
I feel that there are some people, these companies, or some of them were forced to downsize or completely shut down, and then there's those companies that probably use this opportune time to shed some stuff.
Jamal McSweeney lives in Grand Bahama and says basic business practices may have come into play after companies took a hit during Hurricane Dorian, leaving many employers without a business and many employees without a job.
They might have a little bit of damage, so they say that they'll probably use that as an opportune time to say that, production's not the same or there's no revenue. And I mean, it's kind of fair.
An assessment by the Department of Social Services has taken a look at Grand Bahama's employment position post-Dorian and shows that the unemployment rate on Grand Bahama has increased from 10.9% in May to 50% as of November 5th. According to that assessment, 47% of people in Freeport were unemployed, 48% of people in the East End, the area hardest hit by Dorian, and 60% of West End, Grand Bahama, are now without jobs. Emmanuel Bowen says since the storm, it's been rough.
It's really, really poor, but I mean, hopefully we get through. God is able. They're saying a lot of things happen, but you're not seeing it. But hey, we just gotta cross our fingers, bro.
Some businesses have since reopened and construction is underway. There are those like Alberta Shepherd and Charles King, a retired officer, who disagree with the assessment and feel there are more jobs available now than before the storm.
Well, jobs out there for them now, but before, it's very hard.
I think that there are a number of areas that people can find work, especially after the storm. Yeah, but I guess they are refusing, I guess.
So you think there are jobs here?
Yes, very much so.
I feel you can find something to do. Ain't that bad. I think you can find something to do.
Right.
Yeah, I think people can find something to do. I know a lot of construction is going on. Yeah. A lot of people is having their home put back together and getting their home fixed, but I believe you can still find something to do. Ain't that bad.
Over at Kelly's, one of the biggest private employers on the island, the staff complement stands at 120. Operations manager Louis Alman said after the storm, the company saw it fit to keep everyone on board.
Some people have moved on to pursue other things, but we haven't let go any staff. Our staff are our greatest asset, so everything that you can see, our staff have made happen.
Business is bustling at Kelly's Lumberyard as people purchase items to rebuild. But on the other side, the company is hard at work putting the finishing touches on the actual store, with toys and household appliances being stocked on shelves. Alman said their aim is to have it open within a matter of days.
I think this is what the island is really looking for at the moment. People ask us every day, wherever we go, people are asking, when is Kelly's open? And we explain to them that we are open on the other side of the company in building materials, but they really want the experience. They want to be able to come through, push their trolley around, look at all the different household furnishings and the toys, and they want to be able to feel a little bit more normal. So that's what we're focusing on. That's our aim.
You got toys on the shelf already?
Toys on the shelf. We're ready to go.
Now again, Kelly's is looking to have that store open and running hopefully by next Monday to help spread some sort of holiday cheer. Reporting from Grand Bahama for Our News, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Peter Turnquest told reporters today high unemployment in Grand Bahama is a concern, but expressed confidence that the island would rebound. Jasmine Brown reports.
We do know that there has been loss of jobs in Grand Bahama.
Turnquest was optimistic despite the social services report, which took an in-depth look at the situation in Grand Bahama as of November 5th.
Where businesses have not been able to get back up, either due to damage to their infrastructure, or because of the lack of electricity, or just because of the way things are in Grand Bahama at the moment. But we do know that every day that there are people who are making steps to reopen their businesses and start to re-employ those persons who have been temporarily laid off.
In May, the island's unemployment rate was 10.9%, according to data from the Department of Statistics. As for the latest numbers provided by the door-to-door survey, the DPM said this.
I would wait for the Department of Statistics to complete their unemployment survey before we make take anything formally away from that. I'm sure that social services has done their due diligence, but I would prefer to rely upon the statistics department, who are experts at calculating these numbers.
The report also found that a large majority of homes on the island were uninsured. According to the assessment, 99% of homes in East End were uninsured. In West End, 96% were uninsured, and in the Freeport area, 70% were uninsured. The DPM says that's not exactly surprising.
As in most family islands, you'll find that the insurance uptake is very, very low. And that is a critical issue that we have to address as a government going forward, because as you know, and I've said before, that exposure typically falls back to the government to provide the backstop.
Hurricane Dorian leveled parts of Abaco and Grand Bahama in early September. The storm, the strongest to make landfall in the region in recorded history, sat over eastern Grand Bahama for 2 days before moving north. So far, 70 people have been confirmed dead in the aftermath, and thousands have been displaced. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.